Coming up next on the Weekly Pulse, a laser that will help you lose weight, reduce stress, and quit smoking.
And in our weekly dose of Doceri, we found a cellulite treatment that actually works.
And Kaplan Furniture Redefined will help marry his and her furniture so you don't end up in divorce court. It's all coming up next. Good evening and welcome to the Weekly Pulse, Northeast Ohio's first television show dedicated to health and wellness with a focus on women. I'm Amy Costelli.
And I'm Eileen McShay, and we have great news for anybody who's trying to quit smoking, lose weight, or break any other bad habit. It's as simple as a laser treatment.
Tell us about the laser procedure performed here.
Cold, low-level laser therapy is very similar to acupuncture. So instead of using needles, we're using energy, which is light. So what we're doing is we're stimulating pressure points that are associated with different things such as smoking cessation, weight control, cortisol levels, stress management. There's just a number of different things that we can stimulate pressure points using laser rather than needle. When you're using a needle, it stimulates the pressure point, but it only lasts a few days. Unfortunately, for smoking cessation, for example, it's a 6-week process. So a few days of stimulation isn't quite enough to help that person get relief. So cold, low-level laser therapy, it lasts about 6 weeks of stimulation. So now it's a lot longer and a lot stronger. So it provides that relief for that person.
What is the treatment that you offer here at AccuLaser?
I treat smoking cessation. I treat sugar detoxing, I treat weight control, I treat stress therapy.
Who is a good candidate for smoking cessation?
A good candidate for a smoker is a smoker or someone who chews or anyone who vapes, anyone who uses nicotine products, including Nicorette gums. Any of those products that have nicotine, this is an amazing program for them.
Who's a good candidate for weight control?
So a good candidate for weight control would be anyone who's addicted to sugar. Anyone who is struggling with eating processed foods all the time and trying to eat clean. Anyone who has low metabolism. The pressure point stimulated, we can really assist with your metabolism, with fat loss, with cleaning the body, sugar detoxification, and anyone who's suffering from stress when they're trying to lose weight and they're really stressed. The first thing they do is they start stress eating. And so that's one of our main things that we really focus on during treatment.
Then who would be a candidate for stress relief?
A candidate for stress relief is anyone who suffers from stress, anxiety, phobias, people who have high cortisol levels. So we can provide relief for any of those.
We hear so much about lasers. What makes this treatment different than the ones that we've seen out there?
Laser therapy provides so much more than just stimulating the pressure points. It provides that relief. It speeds up the process because it lasts a lot longer. So for the smoker, for example, when they try to quit smoking, they try so many different things and they fail and they fail and they fail. And they go through this process. Quitting smoking takes about 6 weeks for the body to go through a full process. Well, the beauty of the laser, not only for smoking but for sugar, is it speeds up that process. So rather than going through 6 weeks of this crazy up and down, all you're going through is about 3 to 4 days. And it's very manageable. That's what makes this very different. The manageability that you gain from quitting nicotine or sugar or even controlling your anxiety and fears, the manageability, that's the key. That's why this really is different from anything else, because it provides such manageability that you're waking up with so much more control and that relief that you have when you're not worrying about your physical and all you have to worry about is the mental. And we coach with the mental, so we're not going to leave you empty-handed. You're going to go home with so much information about how to handle when you're at a party and there's all that sugar and you're no longer addicted to that sugar, or how to handle life as a non-smoker. You're going to understand that your life is not going to change. Your life is going to be the same. The only thing you're not going to have in your hands is a cigarette.
You must have a lot of success stories.
Yes, we do have amazing success stories. We have a lot of clients who are truly in need, and they're in need of surgery, they're in need of lung transplants, they need to get off of sugar. Those clients, they've tried everything, and when they come back and they say, my goodness, I finally was able to have my surgery, I was finally able to get my lungs, that's amazing. So our success stories, it ranges from the smoker to the sugar to the stress. I would urge someone to come see us because it eliminates the fear. When you come, you get coaching, you get someone who understands. Everyone at our staff here has gone through the programs. You have a lot of support. We are always here. So for example, for our smoking cessation program, we offer unlimited follow-up treatments. We don't want you to suffer. So we are on their side. And so being on their side, if they're ever struggling, all they have to do is call us and say, you know what, I'm really stressed right now, because there's a mental part of the addiction, and unfortunately we can't fix the mental side of the addiction. And so by coaching and assisting and really being there for that support, they have unlimited treatments for the rest of their life.
It's really quite amazing, and we know the man in the video, and he's doing very well right now. But it breaks the physical interest, but not the mental, so there's a lot of work to do after the treatments, and she works with you very well.
And just like with weight loss, you still have to practice those
Sure.
good eating habits. And if you're looking for a place to find some very healthy food, we're going to check in with Lori at Earth Fare. She's telling us about fresh fruit and juice.
Thanks, ladies. As you can see, I'm here in Earth Fare's produce department. Now, Earth Fare offers more certified organic produce than anyone in the industry, hands down. We also focus on product integrity. We want to make sure we're delivering the freshest, highest quality, and cleanest products available to you and your family. If you ever think about the journey that a product goes through to become certified organic, it's grown in a certain way, it's transported and delivered and even displayed on the shelf in a certain way. So a lot of time, care, and effort has gone into the production of certified organic. And sometimes we don't think about unnecessary and unwanted materials such as chlorine in the water that can come down out of the wet wall. Well, Earth Fare has thought a step ahead. That's why we offer reverse osmosis filtration systems, not only here in our produce department, but over in our prepared food service department as well. Again, it all falls back to product integrity and making sure that organic is truly organic. We also have a lot of great options here at Earth Fare as far as in-house guacamole and salsa. We even have berry cups and freshly cut zucchini, squash, and bell peppers. Again, it's all about healthy convenience. So I'm heading over to the Heirloom Juice Bar. We have organic smoothies, juices, and we have some all-natural drip coffee. I can't wait to tell you a little bit more about it. I'm here in Earth Fare's Heirloom Juice Bar. Now we have a lot to choose from when it comes to all natural and organic smoothies, juices, and drip coffee. We even have a juice bar happy hour every day from 2 to 5 p.m. You can get $1 off all fresh smoothies and juices. Now we have a menu that you can choose from. You can build your own. We have great kids options. We've also added the nutritional information to the boards so you know exactly what you're consuming. Now with the hot weather in the summer, kale lemonade by far is one of my personal favorites, extremely refreshing, just 4 simple ingredients: kale, lemons, ginger, and apple juice. It is delicious. So this is Lauren, and she's actually making a kale lemonade for me right now. Again, just a few simple ingredients. It's so refreshing for the summertime, and I'll tell you, it's one of the more popular items here at Earth Fare. Now, when it comes to kale, it's very low in calories, high in fiber, and has 0 fat. It's also very high in iron and vitamin A, and it's packed with powerful antioxidants. And the ginger, not only does it give it a nice spicy flavor, it's packed with anti-inflammatory properties as well. So this drink is not only delicious, but extremely healthy. Lauren, thank you so much. This is absolutely delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and have a seat over in the cafe, and I will see you guys next week. Cheers.
Thank you, Lori. That's always some great advice from her. And boy, they have beautiful fruits down there.
Yeah, they do. You can't go wrong. Well, coming up next on the Weekly Pulse, the lovable lawyer tells a cautionary tale about estate planning.
And our dose of Doceri shows us a cellulite treatment that really works.
Stay with us.
Kick off the summer at Carpet Country Flooring and Design Center. Whatever your budget, Shaw Floors will fit your style. Carpet, hardwood, vinyl, and more. And up to 12 months free financing. The savings are huge, and it's going on now at Carpet Country Flooring and Design Center.
At Earth Fare, we don't carry any food that's bad for you. So you could shop here blindfolded, knowing that everything is 100% clean and good for you. In fact, we carefully select everything in the store as if your life depends on it. Because it does. Live longer with Earth Fare.
Does your life seem to revolve around everyone else? Visit Doceri Spa and Laser Center and do something for you. Doceri is the premier destination for non-surgical services, anti-aging skin treatments, body transformations, and outpatient procedures. Our staff of physicians, nurses, technicians, and estheticians work to meet your every need. Call today for a complimentary assessment. We will help you with your personalized plan for beauty, health, and body transformations. It's all about you at Doceri Spa and Laser Center.
Peace of mind is the greatest gift that can be given during one of life's most challenging times.
It comes as a choice you are entitled to make about how and where your loved ones get the care they need and deserve.
A choice that gives you the freedom and power to make decisions that will enrich the lives of those closest to you.
Choose Holy Family Hospice, where peace of mind comes with so much more.
Call to start the conversation today.
Dreaming of new flooring? Shaw Floors will make it happen. With huge savings and 12 months free financing on carpet, hardwood, vinyl, and more. Make your dreams come alive. It's the summer kickoff sale here at Carpet Country Flooring and Design Center.
Welcome back to the Weekly Pulse. I'm Amy Costelli along with Eileen McShay. Tonight we're going to talk about a topic a lot of women just cringe over: cellulite.
Nobody likes it, but there's good news. In our dose of Doceri, we're talking about a treatment that actually works. All right, we're going to talk about Cellfina, but before we talk to the doctor, I want to talk to the experts because Victoria and Beth, you both tried it.
Yes.
And before we talk about it, let's talk about what you tried before, because I've tried everything, any procedure out there, nothing really has worked. So what about you?
I first tried a method that is a suction method that's supposed to get rid of the cellulite. It temporarily smoothed the area. So at first you thought there was some results, but it did not last.
Very, very similar, same. Now, what about you?
I've tried quite a bit. The one Beth talked about with the suction, it sucked it up and massaged it at the same time. I tried the coffee, creams, and then there was this light that I sat under one time. They just basically put a light over top of you, and you sit there for like 45 minutes under a light. Very skeptical, of course. The only one that did I see a little bit of results was the suction one, but the results lasted like less than 6 months.
So when the FDA came out and said, we are approving something that you do once and it works, and it's called Cellfina, what was your reaction?
Hearing the method behind it, it made sense. So I felt like it was worth the investment to try it because it seemed like the real deal.
And now that you had it done?
The results are amazing. I have since then purchased lighter colored pants that I had stopped wearing because of the dimpling. So I wore white jeans the other day, and I have lighter colored yoga pants now that I used to not wear because of the dimpling.
And Beth, you've also tried Cellfina.
Yes, I have.
And what was your reaction?
My reaction was I was very happy with my results. So I did a lot of research, read a lot of reviews, even went to Cellfina. They have an actual website that you can go to, and read, and wanted to make sure that it was something I was investing in that was actually going to produce results that lasted. And my procedure actually has been over a year ago, and I still have excellent results. So it's still like it was.
How old were you when you first noticed that you had cellulite?
Probably 5-6 years ago. I started to notice that I wasn't feeling as confident about what I was putting on. I was, looking at myself and, taking a look in the mirror, and taking mirrors and looking at my, back end, and I thought, this isn't attractive. I don't want to go out like this. It was about 2 years ago that I first found out about Cellfina and started looking into it, and then went ahead and had the procedure done. And it's made a complete difference in my life, in what I purchase at the store, which is a big deal for women. So it's made a huge difference in my life, huge.
if you're like me, I always would just blame myself for the cellulite. You know, I ate the wrong thing, I didn't work out enough. How is it for you psychologically?
It was tough. It was very rough on my self-esteem, and it made me very insecure. I didn't like to be the center of attention. I kind of stayed in the back because I was hoping nobody really noticed my legs, you know? So in my early 30s, it got even worse because girls were still wearing mini skirts, and I'm like wearing the knee-length skirts just to kind of hide everything. Selfina has totally changed my life. I've ordered a couple new skirts already for the summer that aren't knee-length, and I'm super excited about them.
So, Dr. Jeff, what is Selfina?
Selfina is a procedure in which a small needle-like structure is used to release the fibrous band that cause cellulite. Once this procedure is done, the cellulite the fibrous band, is released and the cellulite is gone for good.
How is Selfina different from everything we've tried before?
Selfina is different because it treats the cause of cellulite. There is a fibrous band that connects the skin to the lower tissues, and it creates a dimple when it pulls down. We release that band, allowing the skin to return to its normal, nice, flat texture. Cellulite is a part of our skin integrity, part of female skin integrity. Those fibrous bands we tend not to see in males, which is why males tend not to have cellulite. But for females, it's not their fault. It doesn't have a specific cause other than the way their bodies were designed. So weight gain, weight loss doesn't appear to affect cellulite. It's something that most people have that needs to be medically treated in order to be erased. Most treatments for cellulite didn't work, or they certainly didn't work long term. There were a lot of temporary reliefs, stretching of the ligaments that create cellulite, from vacuuming or suction devices to rollers to the infamous coffee ground treatments. And the biggest problem with that is most people have lost faith in cellulite treatments. It's something that bothers them terribly, and they don't think there's an option out there that actually works long term. And with Selfina, there is.
How quickly will you see results?
The greatest thing about this office procedure is that the side effects are minimal. You can expect a little bit of bruising and maybe a little bit of tenderness the next day when you sit down. But all of the patients we have treated have been amazed by how quickly they got back to activity with really no downtime.
The procedure is 45 minutes, and then how often do you have to have it done?
Because we are permanently releasing that band, there is no need for a repeat procedure with Selfina. So once you have your cellulite removed, it is gone.
What about pain? Is the procedure painful?
No, there's a little local numbing that's done prior to the procedure, and the procedure is completed with minimal to no pain, and patients are up, walking out, and can return to normal activities.
How have your patients reacted from Selfina?
Selfina is probably the one procedure where I get the most vocal patient feedback about how positive they feel about themselves following the procedure. Probably because this is something that people have struggled and tried 10 different things before coming to us for this treatment, and then they finally get the results they were looking for.
It really does work. You know, those ladies said it, the doctors said it. In fact, Selfina says they'll guarantee it for 3 years. And if you call before the end of July, mention the Weekly Pulse at Doceri, they're going to knock $500 off the price.
Definitely a good deal. Well, now to Kaplan's Furniture Redefined, where Steve and Susan answered the big question about couples and their furniture. Whose furniture has to stay and whose has to go?
Boy, we get that one a lot. In fact, that one happens so often it makes you think that family counseling might be part of our job description.
Yes, I know.
You know, I don't want to say that the men don't want their homes to be pretty, but on balance, it's probably less important to them if they can gain a little bit more comfort, gain a little bit more function. And a lot of the men will tend to buy things by the pound almost. If the furniture's got a little bit more bulk, there's a little bit more value there. They tend to buy things like leather furniture because it's more resistant to the dog jumping on it. They'll buy nail head trim. They'll buy maybe more distressed finishes that they won't have to worry about throwing their car keys on an end table, if you will. And it's easy to understand how the ladies don't often maybe react in the same way to those kinds of rooms versus the men.
I do agree. It's often when we say he wanted leather and she wanted linen. And it's, it has a lot to do with the perspective of I want a light room, I want a pretty room. Form and function kind of don't go into play all the time with some of the beautiful rooms. It's, that fabric may not be that practical, but that is a beautiful sofa, and I can pop my artwork off of it. I can layer my fabrics to make a beautiful pillows. I can add a rug, add beautiful lamps, and it all works together and makes a complete room. And I have to say, practicality may come second to that. But I think in the end, it all works out, and we find a great way to combine the two.
Well, here's a space that we put together to kind of address the different ideas that the men and the women like. I know the one thing that I felt that the men would find as a fair compromise is the texture in the fabric. We wanted the durability of the leather, but it seemed a little bit too masculine, so we found a textured fabric, only because darker fabrics show light dirt and light fabrics show dark dirt. Something textured is going to hide the cookie crumbs and the pet fuzzies, if you will. We got the nail head trim, we got some distressed finishes on the tables, and then you brought in the accessories and the pop of color.
I think it works well together. I think the artwork, bringing out the different colors, matching that up with the layers of all the pillows to pull a little bit of color in, is a great way for someone to accessorize a room. When we mix the artwork and the lamps together, put those with the fabrics, you suddenly create a personality and an atmosphere that is great for both of them.
And a lot of times, although the guys might want to poo-poo all the little throw pillows, but you can be sure they're going to be the first one that wants a throw pillow when it's time to lay down and take a nap.
That's right.
Tip of the week. If you're trying to furnish a living space and you want to get as much seating as possible into the smallest amount of floor space, you might want to consider a sectional. A sectional has less arms than a sofa and love seat, and you don't have spaces between the pieces of furniture, which also takes up space. On a sectional, you can line up your guests like birds on a telephone wire, get the most seating possible.
It's so nice to see that there are options to marry the furniture so it doesn't look like a bachelor pad or something too feminine.
That's true, and they put together a beautiful room.
They sure do.
Very nice. Well, coming up, we're going to check in with our Pulse Perspective ladies, and we're talking about one of those surprising perks of getting older.
Welcome to Kaplan's Furniture, where we're redefining your furniture shopping experience. Hi, I'm Susan, and I'm so excited to tell you about all the changes we've made. We now have everyday lower pricing. We have a new design staff that can help bring your decorating dreams to reality. We've brought in higher quality brands like Smith Brothers, Lancer, and White Dove, and we proudly back everything we sell. I'm sure you'll love the experience, and we look forward to meeting you. Kaplan's Furniture Redefined.
Home means different things to different people, but no matter what it means to you, it'll always be the most important place in the world. Now you can handle everything life can dish out. Choose the products designed to bring out its very best, while still caring for your home, your family, and your world. Different surfaces have different needs. Keep your glass sparkling clean, your granite looking like new, and your stainless steel spotless. B&B's True View, Daily Stone, and Pure Steel keep your home looking and smelling fresh.
The Rockpile is your one-stop shop for all your landscaping needs. Family owned and operated for over 30 years, we offer the highest quality of mulch, topsoil, gravel, and stone. Our full-service garden center offers the highest quality of trees, shrubs, perennials, annuals, and more. Browse our store and see the incredible selection of pottery, home and yard accents, and decorative furniture. And don't forget that we are the bird feeding headquarters for all your feeding needs. So stop in and spend some time with us. The Rockpile, Nagel Road in Avon.
Okay, so what are 3 things that you may have given a darn about 20 years ago, but today you just don't?
What people think. Agreed.
what people think.
Agreed, because like we used to get all dolled up to go out.
Yes.
On like a Friday night, Saturday night with our girlfriends. Now I'm like, do I have to wear heels and jeans? Like, do I have to leave my yoga pants?
Or they'd be like, oh, that ain't cute enough. And I'm like, girl, bye. You don't know how much this cost me. Like, you would always like be in competition with the other girl.
Yeah, competition, or it's, does that fit me right? I don't even care anymore.
It's refreshing.
Oh my God, to not care?
It's like you can exhale.
Yeah, just a little.
And now we know who we are. I mean,
Yeah.
back then you're just kids and teenagers, and you're in school and you're not really confident in who you are.
Now I'm
So.
like, okay, them yoga pants look good.
I like the way those ladies think. You care less as you get older, I think.
And that is so true. And one thing I've learned is that when you worry about what everybody else is thinking of you, they're not. They're thinking of themselves.
It's true.
Yes.
And I try to tell my daughter that all the time.
Good advice.
Well, moving on to the lovable lawyer. He is talking about estate planning, and he has a cautionary tale.
We're all getting older. There's no stopping that. And that's why it's so important that we protect our assets. Now, a big part of that process involves obtaining financial and healthcare power of attorney documents. Because if you don't, the court could appoint a guardian to decide critical things for you and your family. The guardian could be somebody you don't know, somebody you don't like, somebody you don't trust. And you don't want that, and you don't want that for your family. As a for instance, my uncle passed away recently, which is very sad. He didn't have the most robust estate plan in place, and my brother and I, his beneficiaries, fought with a court-appointed executor for the next 2 years, trying to ensure that she didn't fleece the estate. We had to pay for our own lawyer to keep her honest, and that was a lot more aggravating and a lot sadder than it had to be. My uncle never intended that for himself or for us, and you needn't have it happen for yourselves if that is, you do the proper planning up front. There are plenty of estate planning lawyers in town. Simply find one and do what's right to protect yourself and your family. And that's today's Legal Minute. I'm Dan Karen, your lovable lawyer.
Thanks, Dan. We appreciate your expert advice.
And thank you for watching the Weekly Pulse. And don't forget to tune in next week as we wrap up our season with a celebration of wine, and we're learning everything there is to know about rosés.
And Earth Fare is going to show you how to clean up your pantry and make it a little healthier.
And our Dose of Doceri introduces the idea of a concierge physician.
And we look forward to that. We hope you'll join us and reach out to us anytime on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We'd love to hear your ideas. Thank you for joining us for the Weekly Pulse.
Your inspiration for the week. And finally, a treatment for cellulite that works.
Stay with us.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Camera rolling. Action in 3, 2.
Thanks, Dan. We always appreciate your expert advice.
And he gives. I did it again.